Hello guys, welcome to our third tutorial on if statements. So you come up across a problem whereby you need to check some conditions. If the conditions are true, if they are satisfied, right? And you want to perform a certain task when a condition is satisfied, right? So we use the if statements to check some conditions, right? For example, we want to check if a number is positive, right? So to check if a number is positive, let us just create a variable, an integer variable, right? And check if the value in that variable is positive. You know that a value is positive if it is greater than 0, right? So say int number, and let's just assign it to 34. We want to check if that value, which is 34, is positive, right? So we use the if statement and we say if, and we open the parentheses, right? And inside the parentheses, that's where we put the conditions to be checked. So we want to check if that number is greater than 0, right? So we say number greater than 0, and inside these curly braces, that's where, so inside these curly braces, that's where we put the codes to be executed if the number is greater than 0, right? So what we just want to do is to display a message saying the number is positive, right? And we are going to use a message box. Pretty sure that you know how to use a message box. If you don't know how to use a message box, then check on the other tutorials. The second tutorial on Windows Forms application, you will be able to use the message box, right? We say message box dot show positive, right? And we run. So what you need to know is okay, what you need to know is this if statement works when we want to check one side of a value. In fact, when we want to check one condition, right, we only have a condition to check, this single condition, checking if a number is positive. We are not checking if it is negative or if it is equal to 0, right? So when you want to check one condition only, right, that's when you use this statement, right? If statement, right? So 34, you know that it is greater than 0 and it is positive, right? So if we click here, a message box should appear, right, saying positive, right? So it means that, okay, let me do this. So it means that if this condition is satisfied, if it is true that the number is greater than 0, that's when this code is going to be executed, right? any code that is going to be in okay, let's stop debugging. So any code that is inserted inside this curly braces is going to be executed if and only if this condition is satisfied, right? So let us say negative here, negative 34, and we run. So negative 34 is always less than 0, right? So this condition will not be satisfied, and it means that this code will not be executed, right? Why? Because the codes inside these curly braces will be executed if this condition is satisfied. Let us check, right? Nothing happens, right? Nothing is happening. So when we clicked the button, the codes that were executed, this code of declaring and initializing that variable, right, has been executed, and the compiler went on to check if this condition is satisfied, and found out that it is not satisfied. So since it is not satisfied, then it will not go on to execute this condition, right? So we will look at the else part when we have another condition that can be satisfied other than the one which we check, right? We are checking if the value is positive, and if it is not positive, it can be negative, right? We are not checking if it is neutral. Let's just say if it is positive, then it is not negative, right? Or else if it is not positive, it means that it is negative, right? So it means that we want to check if this condition is not satisfied, then we want to display a message box showing that the number is negative, right? So let us do that in the next tutorial.